Hi, this is Dr. Vatiri, and we're continuing along with our lesson on understanding exercise, the principles behind exercise, and stepping up the exercise to the next level. Also, I want to discuss in this lesson a little bit about the spiritual nature of exercise, or how it sort of coincides with our spirit man. Now, as we went along, we're learning how to do our exercise, and a lot of the exercise is going to be delivered to you in the form of those demonstration videos. Again, we have the progressive 7 lessons on exercise, going from just small amounts, giving me those 3 minutes of ab exercises, and then moving forward to get that full somewhere between 17 and 20 minutes of daily exercise, that you're committed to doing it every single day. Again, we also have the demonstrations on doing specific core exercises. And then there's the stretches for different ailments that you may have. And, take your time, continuously go back and review those exercises and make it part of your daily routine. It has to be part of your daily life. And that's why I tell my patients when they come into my office, and I'm telling you right now via the computer, that don't move on to the next phase of exercise until you've accomplished that whole week, 1 week, 7 days of doing the abdominal exercises, those simple 3-minute crunch exercises, and then you move on to the lunge exercises. Sometimes we get so enthused about making a change, and if this is the, if you're convicted for some reason, and you looked in the mirror and you say, I need to make a change, we have this desire that we're going to do it all at once. And I'm stressing to you, take these incremental steps, build authority, build control over your mental state and your spiritual state until you're able to just accomplish it as part of your habit. Then, as we move past that regular 20-minute exercise, you can either substitute it with our Gen Intensity program, or you want to add the Gen Intensity program. And basically what that Gen Intensity program is, and as you get to view it, it's taking it to the next level. It's moving you from where you are to another level of fitness commitment. And one of the things that I always tell my patients is this, is that the work it takes to get wherever you are now is the work you need to maintain to stay where you are now. Okay, sometimes we get a little bit impressed with ourselves, and we're doing our 20-minute exercise, we're breaking a sweat, and it's becoming a routine, and then we notice that we're really not moving from there. We're not, the body fat percentage isn't going down as fast as it was 2 and 3 weeks ago, and you're not filling out, men, you're not filling out the muscle shirt like you thought you would fill out. And now it's time to step it up a level, pick up the intensity just another notch. And we've broken down the Gen Intensity program into 4 different sections, 4 sections of exercise of 15-minute blocks. So there's several ways you could do this. You could do 1 block for 15 minutes in the beginning. So you say you're doing your regular 20-minute routine, and then you want to add 1 block of the Gen Intensity program. Or I set it up into 4 different sections, and if you do each one of them, they're 15 minutes. So I like to do is mix and match 3 of them. Okay, now the 4 different models that we have, or different segments that we have, is the Gen Core exercise, the Gen Cardio, the Gen Plyo, and the Gen Balance. And it's just, it has a different type of spin or a different type of twist in each one of the exercises. Now, what's good about the Gen Intensity exercises is that you could do it as intense as you possibly could do it, based on whatever physical level you are now, or you could work your way up. And I have people that do it more intense than I do it. There's people that are in tremendous physical shape, and they're doing this program, and they can jump higher, and they can hold the certain positions longer, and they just they have certain levels of physical fitness that we're all looking to achieve. But each one of them are 15 minutes. So you may want to mix and match it throughout the week. Now, the core exercises, as the Gen Core Intensity program is, as the name sounds, is about working on your core. And again, if you look at the core segment of our training videos, I'll give you a good explanation of where your core muscles are. But these core muscles are essential in whatever exercise you're doing, whatever sport you're playing. Even if if you're cleaning your house, or working in your garage, or just you want to play with the kids or the grandkids, the core muscles are essential in all your movements, in all the strength if you're playing a sport, and all the speed and all the stability. Your core muscles, which are your abdominal muscles, your lower back muscles, your gluteal muscles, your oblique muscles, your serratus muscles that come across from your back across to your chest. These are all vital to be in great shape in order to give you the best strength, the best endurance, the best balance, and the most amount of energy. Even if you have to run and catch the bus, okay, your core muscles are being used. Just doing household things, like I'm working in a garage trying to rearrange my disaster of a garage, and I need to have good core muscles from stepping over different things that I've left out on the floor, and it's the truth, of just being strong in compromised positions. And that's why your core muscles are essential to be strengthened, and especially for those of you who have lower back trouble or hip trouble, or even knee problems and ankle problems. Having the core balanced, along with getting your regular chiropractic adjustments to keep your pelvis balanced, is essential for the well-being and the preservation of your lower spine. The next core Gen Intensity program is our cardio program. It's the Gen Cardio. And this program is focused more on really pushing your interval training. Okay, now all of the Gen Intensity workouts are based on interval training, but the cardio one is going to really pick up your cardio rate and drop it down. Pick it up, sustain it for a certain period of time, and drop it down. It is the best way to not only break a sweat and burn fat, but it's a great way to keep your cardiovascular system functioning at its maximum potential. Now, one of the things that we don't know is, well, you may know this, but some people don't realize this, is that, and of course, before you do this Gen Intensity program, make sure you get a good checkup by your healthcare provider. If there's any question about any heart trouble in the past or putting a strain on your heart, just be cautious. Use wisdom. I'd rather you be a little bit overweight than dead. So what I want you to do is use wisdom on it. But if you get that clearance to do this type of program, it's excellent to improve your overall cardiac function. Okay, the more you exercise your heart and the more you exercise your cardiovascular system, what's going to happen is you're going to cause your heart to beat less times per minute. Your pulse rate will begin to drop, both in exercise and resting, and that's good. It's preservation of the heart. The contraction will be stronger. That means you'll be able to pump more blood, okay, with less amount of time to your system. The other thing is that as you get older, in your 50s and 60s and 70s, and you're continuing to exercise, what happens is the continuous, and this word stress I'm using here is not in a bad term, but to continually stress and exercise the arteries in the heart, your coronary arteries, and the branches of capillaries that come off it. What your body actually does, your heart actually does, the blood vessel actually does, is causes an increased vascularization. That means you actually start increasing the amount of and the size of the arterioles and the capillaries that are formed in the heart, which is great because as you get older, it decreases your chance of cardiovascular damage, a heart attack or some type of embolism or thrombus in your heart, because now you have more blood vessels. You actually have more. You have more territory, cardiac muscle being covered by blood vessels, which will, even if you do have a problem, it has less of a chance of causing more extensive damage. Okay, but again, before you do any type of exercise, and especially if you're stepping it up, make sure you're clear to do it. Okay, make sure you have the ability to do that. The next core exercise, I'm not saying core. The next Gen Intensity exercises are Plyo, or Gen Plyo. Now, plyometrics is more like a power exercise. It's being able to thrust, like you're in a squat position and you're jumping up. You're thrusting the muscle. You're asking that muscle, you're demanding on that muscle to go from a resting stage to an explosion stage in a matter of seconds. It's your body's ability to increase the power of the muscle. It's not about endurance. It's not necessarily about strength. It's about increasing the power of the muscle. Okay, and this is excellent if you're playing a sport or you just want to feel vital. I'm telling you, do plyometrics the next day. You may be a little sore, but soon after you're going to feel have this sense of vitality. This you're walking up a hill and you feel great by the time you get there. You're not winded. You just have this real hop in your step, and it's great if you're playing sports, especially for the young folks in high school and college. Working on plyometric exercises are incredible for increasing your speed and power, and you're going to have a lot of fun doing these plyometric gen intensity plyometric exercise. And then the last one is our gen balance exercises, and here's where you really start incorporating not just one muscle but multiple muscles to keep you balanced. Okay, it's being able to balance on one leg, and you doing twisting procedures and going into what we would think a push-up position and moving your body. What's great about the Gen Balance one, it is a cardiovascular workout, but it's forcing you to be in somewhat compromised balanced positions where you're not only incorporating a primary muscle but a number of secondary or ancillary muscles, supportive muscles, which will be excellent for controlling your balance, your movement, and in the long run prevent a lot of injuries from occurring. Okay, so these are the reasons why we want to get to that gen intensity workout. Now it's critical that you mix and match these things. I like to just do 3 at a time. I'll do 15 minutes, and the way they start off with a warm up, and they end up with like a cool down and a stretch. So then you can move right to the next one. Just click from one piece of footage over to the next piece of footage. And understand this, that exercise, though it is for your physical man, okay, it's great discipline for your spirit man. Sometimes you wake up and you may say to yourself, and I say this, I just don't feel like going to the gym, or I don't feel like watching my own tape or running through my own routine. But you got to push yourself. You got to realize and push yourself. If this was a race to get to the kingdom, or if this was something that we could physically do to get to the kingdom, and of course we know we can't do that because our salvation is by it's by the grace of God and that free gift that Jesus laid down his life in Calvary. But just understand this, that this temple over here, if we wanted to race to the kingdom, then we need to push ourselves. We need to push ourselves to be approved and to make this physical body the most worthy temple for the Holy Spirit to inhabit and to dwell in, and to be something that you have a conversation piece about. Sometimes people come up to me and say, "Hey, Dr. V, thank you for working me with the program." I have people leaving email messages and my patients that come in, and I love hanging out with my patients. I think it's great. I'm not the type of person who's like removed from my patients. I hopefully treat them like family, which is not always a good thing sometimes. You can ask my kids about that. But I'm real. I'm straightforward with them. And if I could be straightforward with you, I want to let you know this, is that you need to be able to push yourself to be committed to doing it, okay? And step up the next level. Don't be complacent. Don't just be satisfied where you are, okay? Now, the next tape, part of the program, I want to give you a little bit more of spiritual input when it comes to exercise. So stay tuned. I'll see you in a few moments.